Okay, I think I've got this new setup. Alright, you guys can see the ball. The lighting seems a little weird, but I think that's going to work out. Hey, you can see me. Hello. So I'm finally doing it. I am going to do the foil ball challenge today, but the foil ball I'm using is I made in middle school. So this is, I put on here it was a 20-year-old. It actually might be closer to a 30-year-old, at least the center of it, ball of foil, which is pretty funny. Because I had a foil ball as a kid. And you guys can see the, I've got wrappers from candy in here. I'm very proud of this particular foil ball. So I want to see if I can pound it into a shiny sphere, because I think the joy of collecting the foil ball itself has sort of ebbed at this point. Especially because you can't put candy wrappers on it anymore. So, yeah, Shard Mom, I'm so glad that you were able to send this to me. But I reached the end of my interest in this originally as a kid because I couldn't put candy wrappers on it anymore. There's the occasional, like, really big chocolate Easter Bunny or chocolate Santa that has a big enough sheet of colorful foil that you could wrap it on a sphere this big. But at this point, those are few and far between, and so I did actually wrap it. I remember doing this as a kid, wrapping it in just a sheet of aluminum foil and going, why would I want to do this? This is just wasting aluminum foil. And, so it kept together all the previous layers, but it stopped being interesting, so I stopped adding to it. Ooh, okay, here's a shout out for, just to make me sound real old and for other people to feel really old. For anybody who ever watched Pee-wee's Playhouse featuring the character Pee-wee Herman, he had a foil ball that was like the size of a room. He'd roll it out and it was taller than he was, and he would stick like single pieces of foil to it and it would just stick on. And I remember being ticked that I couldn't do that with my foil ball, because if I just put a piece of foil on it, it just like fell off like an onion skin. So yeah, so basically this foil ball was a fabulous little toy that I made as a kid in middle school. And then, it sat in a drawer and waited for me. And now, here we are in 2020, and the Japanese foil ball challenge popped up on the internet, gosh, at least a good year ago, maybe more. And so for anybody who's unfamiliar with this particular foil ball challenge, basically, you take a ball of foil. Usually what people do is they just take an entire roll of fresh aluminum foil. Henry has a pumpkin. Not quite, buddy, but close enough. I have lights in the back though. But you take an entire roll of foil and you unroll it from the roll and mush it into a ball. And you usually get a ball that's more like a big grapefruit size. And then you hammer it continually, taking all of the crinkly air pockets and smashing them. So you're slowly forcing all of the air out and compacting down the layers and layers and layers of foil until it actually becomes hard. And so you end up with a much, much smaller ball that's super compacted. And reading about this online, I found this really fun. When you start with a big loose ball like this, when you strike it with your hammer, it tends to, the hammer just sinks into it. It's like shmoosh, 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 because you're compacting and breaking down all those levels. But apparently you're getting close to done when the hammer bounces. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know, we'll find out. It's something like that. So apparently the feeling of the hammer is going to change, which I'm excited about. I have two different hammers I'm going to be using. I have this rawhide hammer. So, for anybody who's never used a rawhide hammer, it's literally made out of rawhides. This is dead cow. And you use it to pound on things that are sort of softish that you don't want to harm, so like wood or things like that. So you wouldn't hammer a metal nail with this guy. But I figured this is a good one to start. It's got a nice big surface area. I'm not doing anything too hard. I don't think I'm going to harm my hammer. But then once that gets down, I have a tack hammer. Actually, I should get out Genuine Hickory. Hold on. I have a fantastic hammer. Yeah, this is a better one. The tack hammer's a little small. So this one cracks me up just because Genuine hickory. So, yay. Good job, hammer. So this will be my second hammer. I have not purchased the polish yet. So the final stage of doing this project is once it's, a hard, shiny-ish ball, it's going to still not be shiny, shiny, shiny. You actually want to use metal polish to finish it out. So I don't have the metal polish yet. I'll hopefully have that by next week. So this week we're just hammering. Alright, so dear viewers, I have tried to set this up so it's not going to be an awful soundscape. Obviously, I'm going to be pounding with a hammer. I am planning on having my sound on for this, but I'm doing this on a separate table from where my microphone and computer are, so it shouldn't move my cameras too much, and it should, you'll hear it through the microphone, which you can see my little friend here, but hopefully it won't be too bad, so please give me feedback on soundscape. If it's really obnoxious, I'll play with levels. And you can see I smashed it once. I have a flat side here, just because I wanted to test out the hammer. So I'm just going to start whacking away at this thing. And in the meantime, we can chat, so whatever you guys are up to. This is actually really fun. Well, it is immediately compacting away. I can really feel that going in. Oh, you know what? Okay, I've already changed this, but let me measure its diameter real quick. Oh, I should have done that right off the bat when I was first playing with it. Okay, that makes sense. So, for anybody who's unfamiliar with this tool, these are calipers. And let's see, my biggest distance right now looks like it's here. So we'll get that as my starting thing. So we are sitting at... Let's go with centimeters. I think it's 7.3 centimeters. Yeah, no, I've been playing with this ball of foil for years, so it's already fairly compacted. Let me confirm that. Yeah, so 7.3 centimeters or 73 millimeters. Let me write that down. Alright, so we have a 73 millimeter ball that I'm compacting down, more or less. I've actually been playing with it while doing the research, so I've been just like smooshing down little bits of it with my fingers, which is one of the reasons it's already pretty tight. Alright. And something I've been wondering how this is going to work out. You can see there, you can see this like flaky bit. That's just one of the edges. I don't know how you not have edges, and I did choose to leave this colored foil visible. So maybe that'll affect it. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to get back to hammering. I posted about this on Instagram, and I got to use hashtag HammerTime. And that cracked me up. Okay, so those flaky sides do seem to be more or less compacting in. We'll see if that remains the case, but it looks okay. And I'm happy so far with this setup. This is like a bar stool, just a wooden bar stool. And then this thing, you guys might have noticed I often have a grid when I'm on my regular work surface. This is a bit that I cut off the end of it because it fits on my desk nicer if I don't have this. So far this is going okay. Yeah, this open side is really flaking out. I may have to put another layer of foil over that to preserve that. We'll see. Because it's not like once I polish it, you'll be able to see the red anyway. I'm going to like sand it and polish it, so... It does already feel pretty different, though. That's kind of cool. I'd say the main difference I can feel already is it feels smoother. The various bumps and crackles and things like that from the foil are already greatly reduced. Yeah, okay. What am I going to enchant with it when I'm done? Other foil, obviously. I think I'm going to put another layer of aluminum foil on this. This just keeps getting flakier, and I find it getting worse, not better. So let's do one more kind of sheet here. Luckily, I saved a bit. Shiny side out, of course. And so I'm going to put the side I'm trying to preserve down. Alright, now hopefully this will actually stick. I might have ruined this already by not having this layer get incorporated as much, but we'll find out. So... yeah, I don't totally know how you're supposed to get those edges to, like, fully incorporate, but perhaps the internet had an answer to that I didn't notice when I was looking this up. Oh, it's got a slightly different sound now. I keep hearing a sharper tone, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, it probably just takes a ton of pounding. And it has the flaky edges now, but they're not all condensed into one spot, which I feel better about. That was something that concerned me before, is like, it was just one central area that was kind of coming apart. So hopefully this new outer layer will keep it together. You know, I wouldn't put my calipers far away, but that's silly. I want to measure this as I go. Okay, so we started at 73. That's probably my biggest thing here. Oh yeah, we're already down to, call it 65, 66 millimeters. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's starting to take a definite different tone. More of a hard smack sound. Well, I'm glad to hear that this is prime toddler entertainment. I hope people older than the age of 2 are still finding this interesting, but that's pretty cute. Woo. This is so interesting. I was really hoping this would be kind of cool, and I'm really happy so far. It feels neat. This may in fact be the most rewatched video once I put it up. Can you guys hear that sharper tone? Like, it's changing. Oh, it feels really different. Like, there's a little, I can still feel a little give. I can feel a little smush. But it's doing the thing, for sure. How interesting. Yeah, and I find it harder to talk when I'm doing this because it's so loud and the strikes are so distinct. I'm watching the audio bars just freaking out as I do this. But I'm thinking cool thoughts. Mostly going, ooh, aluminum. So, fun fact, I live on the second floor of a building. I don't know if this is ASMR, but if you're feeling a good feel, tell me. But I'm on the second floor of a building, and my landlord actually owns the unit directly below me. So you would think that right now I'm the absolute worst neighbor. So, benefits, it's the middle of the afternoon. You know, so fine. But also, they're currently not there. They're staying with family in Croatia. Because schools are closed to in-person teaching in Chicago, so they decided to go to Croatia and do stuff over there. And so currently there's no one in the unit under me, which is great. So I'm not being the worst possible neighbor. Alright, let's do a diameter check. So, oh wow. Like, before I even tighten this, you can see how much we've lost. So we went from, like, 6.9. Let's see, what's the biggest? This is probably the biggest angle. We're at 5.9. So that's, or 59 millimeters. So that's continuing nicely. There was a lot of bulk. There's a lot of air in this, you know, being the whole point of doing this. And I'm actually starting to hit with a little force instead of just letting the hammer kind of fall with its own weight. Because I didn't want to, like, pancake it, you know. Yeah, so I don't know about these flaky edges. Those are still being very, very much a thing. And I don't see how they would necessarily get better. You know, maybe you cut them off here. I'm going to take a minute, and we're going to research this. Boom. Keyboard. Haha! It's like magic. Let me open a new tab. So I'm reminded by the whining kitty outside my door. For anybody who hasn't played with them yet, I do have channel points available. And most of the channel points, things that you can purchase with your channel points are stuff that Twitch already had, but I do have a kitty visit on there. So if anybody has 2,000 channel points, you can hit that. Channel points look like a bubble below the line where you can enter in text. So... Okay, I'm looking up Foil Ball Challenge Flaky Edges. Let's go to the Instructables, which is what I had open before. Let's see. Oh yeah, my hand's getting gross. A little bit. Not too bad. They're just like, keep pounding the ball. Yeah, so like you can see crinkles on theirs. Okay, so this one doesn't mention flaky edges. Okay, well, nothing really obvious, so I'll keep pounding away. It might just be a, keep hitting it with a hammer until it does what you want. So, let's do a size check since I was pausing anyway. Oh yeah, we're already smaller. 5.8 centimeters or 58 millimeters. Because it's metric, it makes sense. So... yeah, okay, I'm just going to keep hitting it. I'm not going to pick at it. I'm just going to keep hitting it. Maybe if I make these thicker. Here, I am going to pick at it. I can't help it. I do that. So if I roll this back and, like, make it into a fat edge. So I've got that, like, bump there. I'll do that with this one, too. So if I crumple those in a little bit. Let's try whacking those. Yeah, it's a really different sound now. That's pretty exciting. DL, you distracted me. I dropped my foil ball because I was laughing. This is so silly. I don't think those crumbled edges are any better or worse, so I'm just going to keep going on that. So in really obvious news, I'm such a poofter at this point from, oh, I dropped the ball. Oh, the jokes continue. From staying at home and not actually being out and active, that doing this mild hammering, I'm starting to feel the burn, which is way sad. But 2020, it's where we are. Slowly converting into vanilla pudding. Fine. My new exercise regime involves whacking aluminum with a hammer. This is not true. Okay. Let's get a measurement on this guy. So we were last at... This keeps sliding back. Well, I lost the measurement, so let's see. Somewhere, like, in the high fives. That is 5.6 centimeters. So, okay, so we're just down a couple more. So it's still compacting, but it's getting slower at this point. Which makes sense. There's less air to force out at this point. You know, since the core of this is candy wrappers, there's hypothetically molecules of, like, chocolate in here, which is pretty funny to me. Yeah, like, unfortunately, reality doesn't actually care what the anthropomorphic view on time is, but, yeah. Hopefully, we can leave a lot of bad in 2020, even if 2021 is still going to be affected by 2020, of course. But, whew, no! Guys, it's like it's a ball. It's round. Yeah. Status, the nice thing about this is exactly the sort of wasting one's time you're supposed to do. This is so much fun. So, for anybody who missed the beginning of the stream, this ball, I started making this foil ball about 30 years ago. As a kid, in middle school-ish, I made it out of candy wrappers, so chocolate foil wrappers from holidays and things like that. And I stopped working on it when it got to the point I could no longer wrap new candy wrappers around it, because candy wrappers have usually limited size. So I got to the point that you could get, like, those really big chocolate bunnies and chocolate Easter eggs and chocolate Santa Clauses, but that was pretty much the only thing that wrapped around the outside of this. And so the center of this is all candy wrappers from, like, 20 to 30 years ago. The outside is a fresh piece of foil, because I wanted to keep it all together. So, yeah, it's a weird little guy. And this is one of those things I had sitting around. My mom was kind enough to send it to me when she was cleaning out some of my old stuff. And she's like, do you want this foil ball? I'm like, yes, I freaking do. I know exactly what I'm going to do with that foil ball. Send me that thing. So, and it's, yeah, so we started out at 73 millimeters. And we're at, yeah, again, 5.6 millimeters. Or, I'm sorry, 56 millimeters. So, this is going well. I'm really looking forward to it being shiny, you know, because that's kind of the point, is you get this, like, little metal ball that's actually, like, chrome shiny, hypothetically. So, we'll see. And I definitely don't need to trade out my rawhide hammer yet. This is going perfectly. Nice big surface. Oh, it sounds so different. Yeah, my DNA might be in here. Mixed with old chocolate. I have to assume there was probably at some point where I picked some stuff out. Woo! Guys, it's round. Oh, come back, man. So I gotta ask, how many people are watching this like NASCAR where you're just waiting for the crash when I smash in my own thumb? This is not gonna happen. I have exquisite hammer-related aim. But apparently I will drop it on the floor. Yeah, DL jinx is the one word to say after such a pronouncement. Yeah, because of course I'm distracted by y'all, but dropping it on the floor is just letting it gravity hammer it for me. Thank you. See, Nitocris, this is why I rely on you. Thank you. I can't believe how satisfying this is. If anybody wants to either spend 5 years collecting candy wrappers, or do the traditional foil ball challenge and just put together a whole roll of aluminum foil, this is actually really fun. I have to say, my personal biggest challenge was finding the surface that I could hammer on. Yeah, actually, Meg, I was thinking about switching arms. Here, let's try this. Let's see if this is when I smash my own thumb. Because I love my left arm, but it is, I am definitely a lifelong righty. Oh, this is so much harder to do left-handed. Oh yeah, scientists need to detect gravity from time to time. Okay, so Sticks and Stone Fruit, you said, I don't think the pressure does much, but I wonder if you could boil the chocolate inside with increased pressure. Oh, man. I don't know if I'm providing that much pressure. Like, the kind of pressure that really changes the state of something is usually pretty intense. But, I mean, it is... You're supposed to get pretty tight in here, so I wonder what that would be. Non-dominant hand hammering. Oh, yeah, you guys can hear my rhythm is terrible now. This is probably good. We should get my left arm into this. Build a few wee little muscles in there. This is bad. I'm definitely not hitting the very center of this very often. I'm often off a little bit. Man, it's a ball. Alright, well, here, we can take a second. So, it's still flaky, but I think it's not too bad. I'm okay with the amount of flakage overall. So, yeah, no, it was a fabulous gravity test. Thank you, everybody. So I'm kind of crimping the edges, so at least it's a little tighter, but... Yeah, so, I mean, maybe they'll get polished off. Maybe you actually end up losing some of that. But... Alright. Whew! We're going back to dominant hand. Hammering on my non-dominant side is definitely hard. Yeah, like, my taps per minute go way up if I'm doing it right-handed. Yeah, isn't that the cutest? Rawhide hammers, man, they're fun. So, I'm literally whacking a ball of aluminum with dead cow. Yeah. Rawhide hammers are great. So, you use these if you're trying to hammer, like, wood or something that you don't want to just, like, dent with a metal... You know, because if you... I don't know how many people have ever missed the nail when you're hammering the wall and you leave a big out of the wall. If you're doing wood to wood, it's better to use a mallet like this. You might still have a pad or something over it, but the rawhide hammers are just so great for gentle stuff. And so far, this is pretty gentle. I will upgrade to 100, or was it? Oh my god. Genuine Hickory. Genuine Hickory is coming up next. But for now, rawhide mallet. I can definitely still see that it's making impressions, so I know this is still doing it. Taps per minute. Yeah. The actual carpenters I've known have far higher taps per minute than I do. Okay, let's do a quick measurement. This feels smaller to me. I mean, it is smaller, but, you know, significantly. So we're down to 52 millimeters. So getting down there. So again, started at 73. We're down to 52 millimeters in diameter. Not too shabby. All right, let's try this with Genuine Hickory. Let's see if that's too much mallet or too much hammer, or if it's just the right amount of hammer. So again, Genuine Hickory. Ooh. Yeah, no, we're gonna stick with this. Okay, so this might be too much mallet. Check this out. I don't know if you guys can see. This is actually a crack. And there's kind of a dent. So, nope. Genuine Hickory is too much. We're going to go back to good old Swiss cake roll rawhide. Can't go too fast. You can't rush such perfection. Obviously. Ooh, okay. That was almost hitting my thumb. I was holding it, and this finger was underneath the ball when I struck it. So, that's almost like hitting my thumb. So we've entered the danger zone, I guess. Or something. I'm trying to build drama. Help me here. Nope. We're good. Yeah, that crack is still there. Weird. All right. Oh, okay. I can feel the ball sliding within the last layer I did. So this actually might not work. I might end up taking this off. Well, we'll see. Oh, the side of a meat tenderizer would totally work for the first parts. Because I'm really not putting a lot of pressure on it. It's the constant compacting. So yeah, if you have a wooden meat tenderizer, I bet you could do the first part. I think you would eventually want to move to a hammer, but you just want to make sure you don't damage your meat tenderizer. So. Everybody loves my rawhide mallet. No, it's great. Thank you. It's definitely a great tool for this stuff. Very much enjoying that. All right. Yeah, I wonder if this outer layer is just going to come off. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the flaky edges are driving me nuts. I want them to go away, but oh hey, check it out! You can see a little bit of the red foils in there. So yeah, I definitely cracked that outer layer. All right, I moved up hammers too soon. I definitely am sticking with this guy for a minute more. And the descriptions of people doing this online really indicated this is hours of tapping. So we are like 45 minutes in. I might be hammering on this next week. Or we'll just go all afternoon. Yeah, I'm just filled with regret about that crack. Man, crazy. Who'da thunk? Whew. Nope. Offhand hammering. Whew, here we go. Doing this left-handed is so hard. Yeah, check this crack just keeps getting bigger now. And is exposing those underlayers of the red really a lot. Yeah, I don't know. How's that supposed to work? Because I can feel this sliding now. Well, we'll see. I mean, it is called a challenge, so it's hard. Yeah, you can hear the crackle. Or like that. You know, I actually looked into a thing that would add closed captioning. Oh, okay, so the ball inside is actually freely spinning. I'm going to take off this outer layer. If it started off not freely spinning and ended up freely spinning, I don't think that's going to work. So, take that guy off. Like a weird candy wrapper. Well, the inside looks good. So, there's still that area that I was a little bit concerned about looking a little concerning. But on the whole, it looks really good, actually. Oh, now it feels hefty. Of course, the weight won't have changed. I'm not removing anything from this, but I'm compacting it, so now the force, you know, on my hand in those little spots is a little bit greater, even though the weight isn't actually different. So that's really cool. Okay, let's get a measurement on this guy while I'm paused. Ooh, that got it down a bunch. I mean, I did just remove a layer, but we're at just over 5 centimeters. So just slightly over 5 centimeters. Oh, it feels really cool. So there's no squish. Well, maybe. There's like a little bit of squish. Oh, so I mean, at this point, I would even actually be happy with it. I couldn't polish this, but having it on my shelf, it has a nice like heft to it. So this is actually already, I chalk this up as a win. So I'm still worried about this open end. It's still a little flaky and edgy, but back to the left hand. I think at 2 o'clock my time, so in about 10 minutes, I will take a break. Because, man. Aw, it's a small moon. That's not a moon. Anyway, I'm wearing the shirt. This is so cute. I still can't get over how adorable this is. Okay, so Chardon Mom, you said, I must have missed something. So you start with a ball of foil, and when you're done pounding, you will have a ball of foil. Indeed, yes, I will. I'm doing a ton of work to largely get back to the same spot. The difference is it'll be shiny. Hypothetically shiny and smooth. But yeah, no, it's a ton of work to still have just a foil ball in the end. I wonder if anybody has tried to sell these. Like, if you can find a completed hammered foil ball on eBay or something. And of course the answer is probably yes, someone's tried it. I guess the bigger question is, did anybody buy one? Well, I mean, now I have Christmas presents all lined up. Just hammered a bunch of balls of foil. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, Sharon Mom, I think we're on the same page. So, Nitocris, going back to your question about the meat tenderizer, at this point, I don't think a meat tenderizer would work. This is hard enough that I think you'd be damaging the wooden hammer. Assuming your meat tenderizer is made of wood. There's also metal ones. I would know less about. But I'm not going to sell this. But at this point, I think we're beyond where a meat tenderizer would be, and we're at the end of what this rawhide, I think, is going to be doing. I'm going to go for a little while longer, but I have a feeling I will have to move to Genuine Hickory. Although I do have a much smaller hammer that I had at the beginning of this that I might bring out because it won't be as forceful, so I might do a tack hammer followed by my bigger hammer. Wow, yeah, that's so interesting. It is funny how it feels heavier. Like, it's clearly not heavier. But it's heftier. I also just like the idea of hammering something round. Like, you hammer to flatten, but no, I'm hammering to enroundify. That's a word. It's not a word. I would also argue it's shinier. It's definitely taking on a more mirrored look. Like, you guys can see that nice, light shine off my lights. So, that's cool. Alright, I'm going to get a measurement this guy, and then I think I need a break. Okay, we're below 5. We're now at, 4.9 centimeters. So, that's really stupendous. And then, actually, do I have it? I had a little base picked out, so let me see if I can find that. I know I had it back here, but I moved things around a lot. Now I'll have to dig. I have a little purple base that it's going to eventually sit on. I'll see if I can find that. Oh, the kitties would definitely try to play with it. They like regular foil balls. So, no, they're monsters. Alright, excellent humans. I'm going to take a break. So, I'm going to try something I haven't done before. I'm going to run a 60-second ad break. Which is something that Twitch offers that will make me a very small amount of money. So feel free to also not watch it, but if you leave the stream on, they'll give me some sort of penny, which I appreciate. Unless you're a subscriber, in which case you don't have to worry about that stuff. So I'm going to put myself on my way. I'm going to take like a 5-minute break and get a drink and stuff like that. So I'll be back shortly after 2 o'clock Central Time to continue hammering this guy and hopefully eventually get a very, very shiny ball. So, see you in a minute. Alright, I'm back. Oh, Nitocris, you're probably not still on, but thanks for stopping by. So, the break was of mixed use because I had a nice drink of water and I sat down, so yay, and I pet a cat, all of which are useful. But then I also checked my phone, and apparently Chicago's now imposing a 10 p.m. curfew because of the rise of coronavirus. It's just like, man, it's always one more thing. Not that I was going out, but it's a bummer. So to talk about fun things, just to rehash, for anybody who hasn't used them, anybody's new to the Twitch format, there's a lot of different ways to interact with your streamers that are silly and light. Some make us money, some don't. So, like, if you let an ad run... I'll get to that in a second. If you let an ad run, it makes me a little tiny bit of money. So I sure appreciate if you don't close the window when the ad is running. Little dorky things like that. If you subscribe to me, obviously, that helps. Following me helps, all those types of things. Something that Not Here just redeemed is a joyful little element. These are called channel points. Channel points, you'll see them underneath the text box where you can type in comments. And channel points just rack up as you're watching. So the longer you're on my feed, the more you get. It's just automatic. I don't have any control over it. And if you click on it, there's a whole menu of different options you can do. And a lot of them Twitch already has on there. So it's things like you can highlight your comments so everybody extra notices, or you'll make sure that I really see your comment. It's little fun things. They're dorky. They're nice. But one thing I added, which Not Here has redeemed, is for 2,000 channel points, you can have a kitty visit on stream. And so what this does is this tells me that my dear viewer, Not Here, would like to see one of my cats. And so now I have to go find a cat. So I'm going to not put the AFK back up because I think I know where Rumi is. So you just see an empty room for a second. So I'll be right back. See if I can find a kitty.
Want treats? Come
here. Meow. So I found Festivus, actually.
Meow.
Want to come up here?
Yeah.
Meow, you're such a dumb butt. They're on my chair. Right here. Yeah, they're on my chair. I will give them for the third one. Boop. I'm sorry, guys. This cat is not terribly bright. So, Festivus doesn't like being picked up as much as Rumi does.
Yes, because there's a treat right here. Right here, go.
Alright. There's Festivus. Or at least Festivus' butt. And so there's your kitty visit. And so, this is the sort of thing, I'm trying to think of more ideas for stuff I can do with channel points. Everybody's a winner when there's a kitty in the room. Festivus, you want another treat? Oh, you spoiled beastie. There you go. It's right there. It's right there. It's literally in front of your nose. Here, fine. There you go. Alright, so if anybody has any other actionable ideas about things I can write in there for the channel point options. But for right now, there's kitty visits. I'm considering having one that when my moderator would come in and crash my feed, we can do that. Once I remember to actually save eyeballs, I could do eyeball dissections on demand. But yeah, so any ideas, let me know. Anything fun. Something else I was thinking about is I need to memorize this, but I could recite the Jabberwocky poem. I'm like at 75% of that poem right now, so if I can re-up that, you guys can make me recite poetry. Fun things like that. Hello, you monkey. Yes, everybody loves you. You're very cute. He doesn't care. He's like, what? Keep petting the kitty. Here, Festivus, we can be really fancy. Do you think you want to jump over here? I'll put a treat up there. Here you go. Here you go. Go on. You're a cat. You're nimble. There's 2 treats. Come here, cookie. There you go. Alright. So there, everybody gets to see a happy kitty. Well, can you guys hear the little noises he makes? You done, buddy? Alright. I'm gonna put the treat back. Yeah, now he's purring and rubbing against my leg. Alright, you monkey, come on, let's go put these away. Let's go put these away. You did a good job. Alright. Thank you, dear viewers, for that ridiculous channel point expenditure. I may have to increase the value of that, but I also like visiting with my kitties, so there's not really a loss here. So not here, thank you so much. And anybody else, the channel points don't, like, monetarily benefit me. I put them in there because they're funny. So I like using that sort of stuff. So again, anything that's fun and whimsical, I'm absolutely up for that. There's another thing on there which is using bits. The icon for bits is kind of a diamond with a filled-in bottom. That one's a little different. Bits actually cost you money. And so you buy them, kind of like buying tokens at an arcade, and pay them out, and then the money goes to me for various things. I haven't messed with bits as much, so there's things you guys can do, but I will play with that in a little bit. Also, Not Here was kind enough to demonstrate my one user icon that I have uploaded. I have more, I just have to fiddle with some stuff. So I'm trying to make the feed fun. I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me when I do these wacky projects. So anything anybody thinks up that's additional fun, I'm just a ginormous fan of fun. So. Actually, we talked about that. I do need to have some sort of BRB getting the cat screen. So absolutely, I will put that together probably this weekend. So... Oh yes, Not Here. If there were awards for being the best viewer, you would be one of the tops, obviously. I mean, look at all those icons next to your name. Which is the other shameless plug. The more things you sign up for, the more little icons appear next to your name and people know that you're cool. I'm working on getting icons that are channel specific that will go next to those. So instead of the little first and the little crown and little star, they'd be skulls or T-Rexes or something like that. So I'm trying to make it fun. I have a good time doing this stuff. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. So... Going for fun with number 1. Thank you, Not Here. So I'm gonna go back to pounding a ball of metal because that's also fun. This would be the least interesting user icon I think I can come up with, but you know, you roll with what you got. So I think Festivus wants to come back and he's like, "There's treats in there." I usually would grab Rumi, but Rumi was asleep behind my moderator's computer, and they are currently on a work call. So, you know, certain decorum. And obviously, I would not do the kitty visit if it was dangerous to do so. So if I was painting or using nasty solvents or something, or was doing taxidermy, please don't cash out the kitty visit thing. I don't want to pause necessarily, but we can talk about it, you know. Communication is key. Ah, this is still really satisfying to hit. Yeah, I'm really feeling like reciting poetry might be fun. Because poems that I have had memorized in the past include Lewis Carroll's Jabberwock, oh my gosh, Edgar Allan Poe's, J. Edgar Hoover, sure, thanks, good job, brain. Edgar Allan Poe's Raven, I've had that one, and Poe's Annabelle Lee. What can I say? I like Poe. So, man, I could do a lot of Poe. I like Conqueror Worm. There's a bunch of good ones. So I can definitely still see that this softer hammer is having an effect. It's a lot less profound than when I started, but yeah, the great poet Hoover. Brains, I don't know. Oh, the other nice thing during my break is I discovered that the sun came out in Chicago, so you guys might notice I've got the blinds open back here now. So it has been gloomtastic this week. It's nice to have any sunlight. Oh man, I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor. I remember that one. Okay, so I'm Being Eaten by a Boa Constrictor is a poem by Shel Silverstein, who writes fun, kind of kid-centric poems. And I might still have that one memorized, so not that I'm not going to make you spend channel points. This is a test run. So I believe the poem goes, I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor, a boa constrictor, a boa constrictor. I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor, and I don't like it one bit. Oh me, he's up to my knee. Oh my, he's up to my thigh. Oh fiddle, he's up to my middle. Oh heck, he's up to my neck. Oh dread, he's... And if anybody wants to look that poem up, I believe that is still word for word accurate for Shel Silverstein's I'm Being Eaten by a Boa Constrictor. So there we go. There's one poem that I could have up for channel points. Thank you, not here. Yeah, I did that poem, and I was in the... Was that the one from the 6th grade? No. Maybe? No, the 6th grade was a poem about dragons. But... I need an applause emoji. I do have an emoji coming that will say wow. So at least that starts. Maybe 7th grade. So we can have channel points that makes me do stuff with my offhand. Oh, I love that. Here, let me just see if I can set that one up, because switching hands I think I can do pretty easily. So everybody bear with me for a second. I'm going to play with a setting, but I think I can do that while I'm on. Let's find out. All right. Bits. Emotes. It's not content. Yeah, bits are for cheering. Oh, nuts. I forget which section this is in. Okay, yeah, I might have to set that up after this stream. But that's a good idea, Mega. Thank you very much. So I will do a channel points cash out that you can do where I have to use my non-dominant hand for, let's say, a minute, and see how well I do. Because I don't think profile settings, doop. Social links, blah, 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 schedule, blah, 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 rates. Yeah, I don't immediately see it. So I don't want to take too much time out for that right now, but you have me intrigued. That's a fun one because, oh man, trying to do that with even the taxidermy, like that's very relevant. So thank you. That's a good one. Actually, I'm going to write that down on my notepad too. That's fun. You guys can tell when I take these little breaks and gesticulate and do something else, I come back and I hammer a little harder. So thanks for giving me an excuse to take micro breaks. 'Cause, man, I am so amused that I'm feeling the burn. Like, let me tell you about my sedentary lifestyle. It's a problem. Like, I rode my bicycle exactly once this summer. I got it all tuned up at home and, like, fresh oil on everything. It was running really nice, and I biked out to see a friend, biked back, and that's been the end of it. In my ever so mild defense, I live on the second floor, so I have to haul my bike up and down, 2 flights of stairs, it's annoying to get up and down the stairs, but that's like the weakest excuse ever, so I know. Oh, this is really nice. Let's see. Okay, so at this point when I squeeze it, I don't really feel any smoosh at all. Like, it just feels like a hard, round thing. I wonder if I've lost any. Not really. It's technically a little smaller, but it's not even an entire millimeter smaller. Ooh, the sound is changing again. There's another, like, octave up tone to it. Much sharper kind of strike. I didn't drop it. I got real close, but I didn't drop it. Whew. Oh, yep. This is a little bit of effort. Whew. Oh, I love this. Like, oh, check this out. Whew. Like, the old foil ball couldn't do that. That's pretty cool. All right. Whew. A little tiny cannon for my little tiny cannonball here. Would actually be a good sized cannon. Because I think some, like, ship cannons, back when cannons were a thing, had output about this size, so... Because you could seriously screw up another ship with a ball of metal this size. Go through a mast. Maybe this is more of an anti-personnel cannonball. I don't know a ton about cannonballs, so couldn't tell you. You know, there's another, yeah, I would need a ship to have this be a good cannonball, obviously. Whew. There's another, Japanese craft that I read about once, involving making balls out of strange things, where there's, like, a ancient Japanese art of making dirt balls, and you literally compact dirt, I think, in a way that's similar to this, until you can polish it. People actually do sell those. So it's not clay per se, it's like a fine dirt. I'll have to look that up. I have a vague memory of reading about that at some point, but, like, shiny dirt balls. It might just be a case of you can sell people anything, including shiny dirt balls. I have no idea. I also did not drop it. Yeah. You know, I think you can use channel points. One of the channel points things is to have access to a emote that is usually reserved for subscribers. So if you're not my subscriber, but you want to see what emotes I have one right now. You can pull that up. Pseudonym, let's check the measurement. Oh yeah, it got smaller again. We are at 5.7, or I'm sorry, 4.7. So we're under 5. So this is 47 millimeters. So it is smaller. Also, Pseudonym, welcome back. Good to have you back. I am so glad I thought to grab my calipers for this. This is so much more interesting when you can actually track the numeric change. I mean, in my opinion. Maybe you guys would love it no matter what, and I appreciate you for that, but I like it. So let's say, Pseudonym, thank you for checking that. Let's say when I get to 5.5 centimeters on this guy, I'm going to try changing out to a metal hammer. Because I think I'm getting pretty close. The tone is so much different. It sounds like I'm hitting metal now, which is, again, it's kind of a dumb thing to say. But it doesn't sound like the plap, plap, plap of just hitting a blob of foil or something with any give. It has the sharp, metallic kind of ting to it as I whack at it. This is cool. So I don't know about mirror finish on this guy, but I like it. And who knows? Maybe I'll get a mirror finish on it. I just haven't, gotten anywhere near that step yet. Whew. That was a good long run. Let's check that diameter. Did it make any difference? It made a little difference. I think I'm at the widest point. Oh, no. I had the calipers at not quite the middle. Whew. I might be at the end of this compacting with this hammer. Oh, it's so fun. This is cool. Oh, I had a good run there of hits. All right. Let's hit it just a little bit more, but then I think I'm going to... I will try the tack hammer before I get to my larger hammer. You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. I keep holding it off. Let's go get the bigger one. Don't roll on the floor. All right. So Genuine Hickory was too much for it last time. Let's see if my slightly smaller tack hammer is going to work better. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so I'm not getting any cracking this time, and it's not leaving, like, real big dents in it, because I want to keep it gradual. So, okay, then we are officially saying goodbye to the Rawhide Mallet. This was exquisite for the first part of this foil ball challenge. So, moving that tool aside, we're on to a small tack hammer. So this has an immediate effect. Like, I can see the hammer strikes again, but with the Rawhide Mallet, I was no longer seeing the strikes. So I think we moved up at the right time. Okay, here's a weird analogy. This reminds me, distantly, of making pie dough. For anybody who has ever rolled out pie crust, if you push down too hard, it just cracks and splits, and you are spending a lot of time trying to glue the edges together. Whereas if you get it, first you have to have your pie dough at a pretty good spot, but then when you're rolling it, you want to kind of gradually thin it down to the pie crust depth that you want. This kind of reminds me of that, because if I whack it too hard, it cracks, and it's not doing the compacting that I want. So there's your word analogy today. Foil ball is likened onto pie crust. And now I feel like I need to make pie. I actually did make apple pie over the weekend, and we ended up eating it in less than 24 hours. Just 2 people just destroyed it. So, you know. Pie is good. Although, man, that pie was not my my most shining moment of bakery-ness. Bakertude. For a lot of pies and other baked goods, you pop them in the oven at, like, let's say 450 degrees for 10 minutes. Then you lower the temperature to 350, and that's what it cooks at for, you know, half an hour or 45 minutes or something. I was feeling off, I don't know, and so I set it to 450. The timer went off at 10 minutes, and I came over and I just reset the timer. I didn't turn down the oven. So my pie cooked at 100 degrees too hot for 35 minutes. It was delicious. Basically, the pie crust turned into a humongous cracker, and the pie, the apple pie insides just kind of turned into applesauce, and it was lovely. So, not what I was going for, but in the annals of baking mistakes, it wasn't too bad. Oh, what? I'm teasing you about pie? Yeah, that pie was gone. I don't know how much you guys can see this. There's almost like facets where I'm hitting with the hammer. So the hammer is definitely having a stronger effect now. It's more like when I started off with the other mallet. It, you know, so it's fine. I'm not worried, but... And nice news, I'm not ruining my workspace here, which is pretty cool. It's definitely not as shiny. I don't know if you guys can see how, like, generally shiny this is, but there's a rough patch where I've been hitting it, but that's not bad. I'm also pleased that my hands aren't as dirty as I thought they would be. Mega, I see your comment. It stands. Oh, I thought of another silly channel points thing I could do. You know, for some couple thousand channel points, I tell you one of my favorite scientific names. So here's a freebie. One of my favorite scientific names. So scientific nomenclature is usually like the Latin name. So for humans, we're humans. That's a common name, but then we're also Homo sapiens, which is our scientific name. So one of my favorite scientific names is for the American bison. It is bison bison. So maybe that could be a channel point thing, as I tell you some of the other weirder ones and what their names mean. But seriously, bison bison. Okay, I want to see if the diameter changed because I'm hitting it with such a bigger hammer now. So let's see. A little bit. We're at 4.7. I think we're at 4.8, so I think I got a millimeter off of it. So, not a ton. The going is so much slower at this point. So again, we're at 40 some millimeters. We started at 73, so that's actually a big deal when you think of it that way. But my lighting looks really washed out. There, hopefully you guys can see a little better. I think I now have so much sunlight coming in behind me, it's screwing with my light levels. Ooh, there's a good one. Short-tailed chinchillas are chinchilla. There you go. There's some pretty good scientific names out there. Yeah, now I'm just thinking of all the other ones that have double names, so... Tell you what, next time I get tired, I might go back to trying to figure out channel points, because we're having all these really good ideas. I want to put those up. Because, yeah, having me spout out random scientific names, like, I'm not going to give it away, but, civets have a really good one, you know. There's also some really good common names, but common names are easier. Like, one of my favorite common names is the sarcastic fringe head. As an actual thing, someone calls an actual fish the sarcastic fringe head. I do not remember the scientific name on that, though. I'll look that up. Guys, it's tiring smacking a ball of metal over and over again with a hammer. Oi! Yikes. Whew! Alright. Oh, I love it though. That's a really satisfying little thing. What a weird challenge. Thank you, Japan, I guess. Ooh. Here's a weird thing just to think about. So the whole point of the foil ball challenge is I'm pounding it to get all the air out. So hypothetically trapped in there was 20 to 30-year-old air from Ohio from when I put this original foil ball together as a kid. So I'm like breathing legacy air from Ohio, like 30-year-old, maybe chocolate-flavored air. That's kind of fun. Aw, Chardon Mom, sorry to exhaust you with watching this. This is honestly kind of tough. I bet tomorrow I will wake up and be like, why does my right arm hurt? And it'll take me a minute and then I will laugh. So my left hand isn't as accurate, so I'm getting little like cuffs marks. Oh well. Oh yeah, DL, I think you mentioned the other day that you live in Ohio. I am originally from northeastern Ohio, outside of Cleveland. And I think you said what part of Cleveland, or what part of Ohio you're in, but I'm blanking on that, so I apologize for that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did mention Cincy. Well, because you're the Bengals fan. So, hey, not here. There's another Bengals fan for you. Yeah, the Ohio contingent on this stream right now is fairly robust. So, good job, everybody. The heart of it all. Whew. Man. All right, I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to try and make it to 2 full hours of doing this. Whew. I don't think I could go much more than that. Oh, I'm such a poofter. This whole, like, isolating thing this summer has done terrible things to my muscle tone and endurance. Whew! Like, this is pretty straightforward, but it's not nothing. That's a good little ball, though. Alright, now, we're gonna take this home. I got 12 minutes. Let's keep going. Alright, here, shameless plug. If you're watching me and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And there's also bits. Bits allow you to cheer in channel. I could really use some cheering. Because, guys, I'm really tired. Whew. Okay, I got this. We're gonna do this. It's fine. You can also just type out woo in the chat, and I appreciate that as well. Oh, man. I knew I could count on you. Thank you. Thank you for the woo. Your woo keeps me strong. I can tell you after this I'm having a cookie, so back to teasing Megan Aceros. I made chocolate chip cookies last night, so I think there's going to be some apple cider and a chocolate chip cookie just to make sure that any calories I possibly burn doing this, I quickly replace. literally clock watching. I'm catching myself clock watching. I think I got too close to my camera. Yeah, sorry. I'm like edging up towards my camera. That was pretty good. Alright. Oh, let's do a diameter check. Oh, wow. It got a lot smaller. Hold on. Uh, 4.6 centimeters. So, 46 millimeters. Not too shabby. Okay, so for you guys to see it... Okay, so 46 millimeters was like that. You know, so there. We started out there. That's how much it's compacted. So there's your visual for how much of a difference this has made. So, alright, let's take it on home. Got like 8 more minutes. Actually, no, let's make it real. Let's get out Genuine Hickory. Let's get that right. That was the mallet I dropped on the floor. Oh, Genuine Hickory is so heavy. Alright. Because again, Genuine Hickory. Oh yeah, this is way better. So I was way too early when I tried using this before. Now I can, like, this feels like the right tool for this job. Okay, so I don't know how well you guys can see the, not the big flakes, but like just the cracks and texturing on this. It's cool. When I hit it with the really big hammer, those smooth out visibly. So there's kind of, yeah, you can see it pretty well. You know, there's definitely little cracks and channels all around it, but look how reflective that is. Six minutes. All right. Do this. All right, let's... I'm a little worried doing this with my offhand, so this might be my NASCAR moment, but... Oh, I'm denting it. I don't know. Yeah, you guys can see those hammer strikes. Templar, I was saying, since I'm hammering this over and over and over again, it's kind of like watching NASCAR waiting for the crash. Am I going to smack in my own thumb? Because I'm getting tired, and I'm occasionally switching hands, and so the chances of me just wailing on my own thumb are going up. Oh, it's so good, though. This is really cute. Nope, I keep edging forward. Sorry, back here. Templar, I don't know if a vice would work for this, because well, at least not initially, it started out so mushy. Oh, maybe, though. I need an anvil is what I need. Okay. 4 more minutes. Ah. Ooh, I got close. Woo! Alright. I had a finger under it, and I hit down, and I pinched my finger a little bit, so still not the major crash, but... Vices come with anvils? Oh, kind of that thick part on the end, you mean? Because I have a little mini vice I still need to install on my table. It's very cute. But I've been remiss. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no. My tools here are limited, but you have me intrigued. Whew, I'm now hitting this hard enough and the energy is passing through it because it's so compacted that I'm feeling it in my feet more. Like the floor is definitely vibrating a lot, which I didn't notice at all during the early stages, so that's cool. Okay. Yep, it is a good thing the landlord is in Croatia. Yeah, no, this is a hard part to do left-handed. Keep leaving little dinks. Woo. I didn't drop it. We're good. Alright, 1 more minute, and then I'm gonna get another measurement on this guy. When my land cord comes back, I should complain about that jerk who was making all that noise. No, I love it. Alright, gentle humans. It is 3 p.m. Oh, Templar, okay. No, I'll give you guys the wrap-up. We'll have the big send-off. This is good. Thank you for seeding me that talking point. I am doing the Japanese Foil Ball Challenge. And so, this thing was originally 73 millimeters wide. So it has lost this much in size from continuing to hammer it. So this is set to the 73. We are now at, for those who've been keeping track, almost 4.5 exactly. So I haven't been losing a lot of size in these last little bits, which isn't surprising. It's gone down so much. But we're at about 4.5 millimeters when we started at 73. So I have compacted this down, 45 millimeters. So we've compacted this down a ton. It feels completely different. It's gone from being a big smooshy foil ball that had a little bit of give in it when you squeezed it to being like an actual metal ball, which is pretty cool. So it's not supposed to explode or anything. Unfortunately, it won't become a diamond because it's not carbon-based. Also, if I was cool enough to be able to hammer something until it became a diamond, I would be wearing all brightly colored spandex and off saving the world. The goal with this is to take a ball of aluminum foil and pound it down so much that I can then polish it into a polished ball of aluminum. We're pretty much there. You guys can see how, it's already shiny. It's covered in all these little cracks from the old wrinkles of the aluminum, but it's actually not bad. You can still see some of the candy wrapper colors, because this ball of foil is between 20 and 30 years old. I started this ball of foil when I was a kid with Easter candy, Christmas candy. I would take the foil off my chocolates and roll them into a little ball. And so I had this for years until it got to the point that it was too large to put new foil, candy foil on. The candy foils were too big and they would just fall off. Unless I got one of the really big Easter bunnies or things like that. And so I had then forgotten about this in a drawer, and my mother sent it to me, I think kind of as a joke, because she's like, hey, do you want this? And I was like, yes, I do. I absolutely want that. And, oh, thank you, Calvin. This toddler has been really into this feed today. So, yeah, so this is a 20 to 30-year-old ball of foil that has gone from being 73 millimeters in diameter down to 45 millimeters. And it's really satisfying to hold, actually. It feels like a solid ball of metal. Obviously it's aluminum, so it's not super heavy, but it's still hefty. It's just kind of cool. I'm exhausted from hammering for 2 hours. Turns out that if I had a hammer, I maybe wouldn't hammer in the morning if I had to hammer in the evening. But I would hammer all over this land. So, shout out to that. So I think I'm going to wrap up working on this for today. Next week, I'm going to maybe hammer it a little bit and then do the polishing to see if I can get it to be mirror shiny. Go buy a pinball and tell me when you're done. Yeah, hey everybody, check out this ball bearing. I totally did that. No, it will be unaltered. So there, get a good look at it. And again, it's mine because it's got the red staining. That little crack there. So I promise not to work on it until next Thursday. But that gives me a chance to buy the aluminum polish and things like that. This was really fun. I'm tired. My shoulders ache. I don't know if I've ever continuously hammered one spot for 2 hours. So there you go. But yeah, so next week I'll see about polishing this. The end results that you see on the internets are often mirrored. They look like little, perfectly chromed balls. But also you see the ones people have done that don't. They look more like this, where they're shiny. This is a shiny little guy. But we'll see. It'd be really cool if I got a nice little, shiny ball of aluminum out of this. And now it takes up less space than it did originally, so I win. Yeah, what a weird project. So I'm gonna definitely take a break. I may be back on later to do a just chatting, because I need to poke around to see if I can figure out how to add more channel points options and things like that, but I won't be working on a project if I'm back on today. So if you guys see me pop back on, it's just to hang out and chit chat, which, I love you all. Come talk to me. But yeah, at the moment I need to sit down. So this was tough. So thank you guys for keeping me company while I did this. This was a weird challenge. And I will see everybody next time. Don't forget to follow or subscribe so that you'll know what other weird projects I'm working on. So, bye everybody.